Hi, Jessica.
Hey, Katie. Welcome to myFM.
Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. So it was your first time playing Survivor. You made it to the final 6, and then a little white rock took you out of the game.
I'm telling you right now, I have a personal disdain for any white rock I see. If I'm walking on the street and I see a white rock, I want to crush it.
No
and
kidding.
I just project bad energy towards that stupid rock because it sent me home, and hopefully this whole disdain for white rocks goes away. But
yeah,
it was just hard to see. It's hard to go because of that. But
yeah, of course.
It was worth it.
What was going on through your head when you saw the rock in your hand? You're like, oh my God.
Well, I didn't really believe it because normally when you're leaving trouble and you get voted out, you keep seeing your name repeatedly come up, and then you're thinking, okay, well, then I have to get my bag, get my torch, say bye to everybody. Mm-hmm. And you're kind of like building up to the exit. And with the rock, it's, you open your hand and you're like, okay, well,
now
what? Rock, and it's definitely not the right color, and I don't want to go home because of this thing. It's almost like denial.
I know.
So it was definitely hard for me to want to stand up and get my stuff and leave tribal that night.
That was definitely one of the craziest tribal councils I've ever seen. How did drawing rocks even come up? Like, how did you guys know that Sierra was going to switch over and vote with the two of you?
Oh, we didn't know. I mean, really going into it, we didn't know that she was going to change her mind and vote Monica. So I think during tribal, maybe Jeff was asking all the right questions, and she was second guessing, and she turned to Hayden and said, she kind of whispered Monica. So she was going to vote Monica, and then Hayden got my attention and said Monica.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, the three of us are going to throw vote Monica's way. And so Sierra kind of, wow, I mean, she turned that tribal around. And I think just all of us being stubborn, we had a deadlock vote. And then Jeff's like, okay, if anyone wants to change their vote, go ahead. We're going to vote again. And if no one changes their vote, we're drawing rocks and leaving it up to chance. And actually, that was a good vehicle to get Tyson off of his throne. So we decided that it would be a good thing to do.
Well, it was the first time I've actually ever seen it come down to drawing rocks. So at least you were part of a very rare Survivor moment, right?
Oh, I agree. And kind of, I guess, the good part about it is that I didn't technically get voted out.
Yep, that's right.
So when someone asks me how I did on the show or where I placed, it's kind of nice to be able to say, well, it's because of chance.
Yeah, exactly.
While I went home. I can always kind of like wiggle my way around not being voted out necessarily. But it was actually nice to be part of a really exciting tribal council. I can say that for sure.
For sure. Now, how about playing with your mom or competing against your mom? Because the two of you had to duke it out in the last Redemption Island duel, and in the end, she came out on top. You said you were okay with it, but were you really okay with it?
Well, I guess to answer the latter question, it was hard. I mean, I didn't want to say yes because I didn't want to go home for good.
Yeah.
But I knew we had discussed earlier that we would try the hardest we could and may the best man win. I mean, she didn't even have to really ask my permission, but I think it was a really hard internal battle for her, too. And, of course, I had a reluctant, it's okay, but I couldn't say, no, wait right there while I finish up here.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was sort of a wild ride for us competing with and against each other. In the beginning, we were competing against each other, so to do that sumo challenge, and we were laughing at each other because it's just so funny. When we compete, we kind of make it sort of a funny thing, and so it was nice. We had some laughs, and there were some tears, obviously, with this last redemption duel. So it was sort of a roller coaster ride competing with her.
Yeah, for sure. So you did make it to the jury, and the tribal councils we've seen so far have been crazy. What was it like sitting on the opposite side of the room during the heated moments?
Oh, man. I actually, and I hate even saying this, but being in the jury is really great because you're able to shower, you have a full belly, you maybe have a glass of wine, and then you get to go to tribal council, and you see your friends, and you're like, oh, yeah, they're still starving, and they're still emotionally drained because of all the politics of the show. And so it's a really sort of bittersweet because you don't want to be sitting in the jury. You still want to be in the game. But it's really cool. It's like going to the movies, because you get to see what's still going on the island without, you're not part of it, but you get to see, oh, my gosh, okay, well, this person's doing this, and it's just, oh, man, it's like it's watching the saga with a full belly, and that's a lot of fun.
Was it hard to watch, though, and not say anything?
Yeah, it really was, because you want to become a part of it. And towards the beginning, I know that I remember looking over at the jury when I was still in the game, and you can see them smiling or maybe giggling a little bit, and you can kind of see their reactions. So it's kind of fun to play off the jury. Where, the jury isn't supposed to really interject in any way, but you can kind of sense the energy between being in the jury and also still being in the game. But it is hard. Sometimes you just want to say, like, photo out, or you want to be a part of the convo, but you just got to be respectful that you're not in the game.
Well, Katie, what I really like right now is you're not really bitter. You're not mad about anything. Everything's good. Ponderosa was good, and you got voted out kind of by default, right?
Yeah, I honestly, but I'm not. My personality type isn't to be, hold on to any sort of grudges. I mean, I'm pretty resilient. So, I just take this as just a wonderful opportunity, and I got to meet some great people and be a part of now the Survivor family, which is a huge blessing. So any sort of bitterness or, grudges, I think would just hinder, that sort of positive note.
Yes, that's right. Well, Katie, thanks so much for joining me today, and I guess we'll see you on Sunday night.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks. Nice talking to you.
Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.